I've taken tens of thousands of trades and made over 7 figures in my entire trading career, and in this video I'm going to share with you 5.5 years of trading knowledge within the next 25 minutes. And I don't say this lightly, this might be the single most important trading video I ever make, because these principles I'm about to share have the potential to completely change the trajectory of your trading career. They could save you years of frustration, thousands of dollars in losing trades, and finally give you the clarity that you're desperately seeking in your trading. I know this because some of these principles are the same ones that my father taught me 5 years ago when he mentored me on how to trade, and they've proven to be invaluable along my own trading journey. So please don't just watch this video. I want you to take it to heart. I want you to internalize it, because this can be the turning point that finally makes you a profitable trader. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's hop right into the video. Real quick, if you are new to the channel, my name is Emmanuel, and I've made a little bit less than $500,000 over the last 9 months day trading stocks, which is a cumulative rate of return of a little bit under 300%. This is my personal Schwab brokerage account, and just to show you that this isn't a screenshot or this isn't Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the screen. If we go back to those same dates of November 1st of 2024 to September 4th of 2025, there it is. I've made $489,000 over the last 9 months or so. And the reason I'm showing you this is to be as transparent as possible and to show you that everything that I'm about to teach you, I personally use in my trading every single day. So there are 18 key lessons that I want to share with you that I have learned throughout my trading career. And I'll be completely honest, I got lucky. A lot of these principles I was able to learn from the very beginning because my father was my mentor. He taught me how to trade. I didn't have to learn the hard way. I learned correctly from the very beginning. And that's the purpose of this video, so you can learn correctly from the very beginning, or you could at least start implementing these principles ASAP into your own trading. And the way it's going to work is they're going to start off kind of general, and as the list progresses, they're going to get much more specific. And these aren't like generic lessons. These are essentially everything that my father taught me and everything that I've learned in my trading career. So make sure you watch until the end of this video. I still remember on the very first day that my father started teaching me how to trade, before he showed me any price action principle or anything on the charts, he sat me down and had a very serious and almost blunt conversation with me. And he told me that if you're planning on being a profitable trader, you need to treat trading like a business, not a hobby. And there are too many traders out there that go into the markets with no risk management, no system, no edge, and they think they could just take money from the market makers, from the high frequency trading firms, from the hedge funds, and they expect to just beat the markets without any experience, without any knowledge. And if you think that's the case, you are in for a rude awakening. You need to treat trading seriously, like it's a business, because that's what it is. When you start a new business, don't you take it seriously? Don't you work hard? Don't you have the proper expectations? When you start a brand new job, aren't you actually diligent? Aren't you listening to your boss very closely? Aren't you arriving on time? Or when you go to college, you invest tens of thousands of dollars and years of your life to get a degree. You study, you go to professor after hours, you're actually putting in effort because you're treating it seriously. Well, the same thing applies in trading, except you are the business. You have to hold yourself accountable. And it's very similar, like in terms of expenses, all of your losing trades, any mentorship that you purchase or help or courses or whatever, your trading setup that you buy or your office, your time, those are your expenses in trading. And like any business, you need a business plan, the same way that you need a trading plan. So treat trading seriously, because it is no joke. You are not going to make money unless you treat it like a business. Number 2, and this is a very important principle, your first priority as a trader isn't to make money. And that might sound kind of like confusing. Well, aren't we all trading in order to make money? Isn't that the end goal? And yes, making money is the end goal. However, it shouldn't be your first priority. Your first goal is to preserve the capital that's already in your account, to protect your resources, protect your hard-earned money. And I always like to say that it's easy to make money in trading, but it is 10 times easier to lose money in trading. And that's where traders really struggle. Traders are able to make money, but they're not able to keep it. And you need to prioritize risk management over everything. That should be the first thing that's on your mind when you look at a trade. How am I going to manage my risk on this position? How am I going to protect my downside? And the way that I would think about it is, let's say you are a general and you have an army and you're going to war. Would you ever send your soldiers out to a losing battle that you know they're going to lose? You know it's not a favorable battle for you. Well, obviously not. So why are you deploying your capital into low quality setups that have a high probability of losing? Number 3, and this honestly might be my favorite, keep it simple. Keep your trading simple. You might think that having complicated indicators, really complex looking charts will make you more profitable. It'll make you look more sophisticated, but that's not the truth. The more you have on your charts, the less effective each indicator will be. And that's exactly why I don't use fancy indicators. My charts aren't cluttered. I only use 2 indicators basically, and they're not even really indicators. They are simple moving averages. They are just reflections of price. And I have other videos on this channel that teach you those moving averages. So I use the 20 SMA and I use the 200 SMA. And the reason you want to keep your trading simple is because the mindset and psychology aspect of trading is the hardest part. Like 70% of your success is going to come from controlling your emotions and controlling your own mind. If that's already very difficult, why would you combine that with really difficult principles when it comes to reading charts? Why would you combine that with having 5 different indicators that are telling you different things? Keep the price action side of your trading simple, and I promise you, your results are going to skyrocket. Number 4, consistency over everything. I think the true mark of a professional trader is consistency. I don't care about how much money you make. I care about how consistently can you make that money. I much rather have a trader make $100 on average every single day consistently over a trader who's making like $1,000 on one day. Next day he loses $1,500. Next day he makes $3K. Next day he loses $5K. Then the next day he makes $500, then loses $300, right? Give me a trader who can make $100 every single day on average, because then if you scale your risk, you could actually expect your results to scale as well, because you've already established that consistency. And the only way to see consistent results is if you put consistent input in your trading, if you have consistent action. And the only way to accomplish that is to have a system behind your trading, to have a identifiable and repeatable edge and repeatable process. That's what you want. Too many traders are expecting consistent results when they have absolutely random input. Focus on the process and focus on building a plan that you could execute every single day. Number 5, and this is also one that my father taught me very early on, your first goal as a trader isn't to become profitable. It's to become a break-even trader first. Don't get ahead of yourself. I understand that you started trading because you want to make money. I get that, but you still have to prove yourself. You have to prove that you could preserve your own capital. And most people skip this very critical step in the beginning. They try to go from beginner trader to profitable trader. And there's a very important step in the middle. And the goal is to first go from a beginner trader then to a break-even trader, and from a break-even trader, it's far easier to become profitable. Once you're break-even and you're able to consistently not lose money, you're 70% of the way there towards becoming profitable. Stop worrying about the money. Just focus on risk management and not losing every single day. Number 6, and this is something that I've learned over the last few years, trading is an art. It's not a science. Trading isn't like a math equation where you put this in the formula, you put that in the formula, and you know the exact answer. That is not what trading is. When you're a beginner trader and you're just starting out, you want to follow a strict system with specific rules, with specific constraints on what you can and can't do. However, as you become profitable, as you develop confidence and gain experience, you're going to become a lot more discretionary within your trading. You're going to develop what's called an intuition. You're going to have this gut feeling. And that's really where trading becomes an art, where you trust yourself so much, you trust your own edge, that sometimes you just know what prices are going to do because you've been in the game for a while. You have so much experience. And that's why trading is an art. And when you're good at what you do, when you're profitable, you can bend the rules, okay? Take like athletes in the NBA or other sports leagues. They don't always play exactly by the book, exactly on how they learned the fundamentals when they first started. No, they bend the rules and they do things that might not be right, in the textbook, but they're able to do that because they're really good at what they do. Trading is an art, and it becomes a lot more discretionary as you gain experience. Number 7, trade management is by far the most difficult technical skill that you're going to come across in your trading, because two traders can take the exact same trade with the same entry, the same stop loss, and one trader hits an absolute home run and makes a lot of money, and the other trader loses miserably. What's the difference? Trade management. And every trader is going to manage their trades differently. So what is trade management? That's like when you're going to take profits, when you're moving your stop loss to break even, where do you move your stop loss, for what reason, are you taking partials, are you taking your full position at a certain point, where are your TPs, how are you going to trail your position, all of these questions. That's all trade management. And every trader is different based on their own style and intuition. And your management strategies need to be battle tested, meaning you have to take a ton of trades and you need to figure out what management style works for you. So make sure you're constantly journaling and make sure you're constantly reviewing which management is actually leading to more profits within your trading. Number 8, stick to one trading style at first. I see a lot of traders who bounce around from doing options, then they're trading shares, then they're doing futures, then they're doing crypto, and they're not able to master any one style because they keep bouncing around to different strategies or different methodologies, and you don't want to do that. You want to pick one and master it. If you want to trade stocks, great. Trade stocks. Don't trade stocks and then an hour later you're also doing futures and then later that night you're doing crypto. No, stick with stocks, focus on it, and master it. Stop bouncing around from strategy to strategy. You can only really focus on one thing at a time, especially when you're learning a new skill. So stick with one and master it before you move on to other styles. Number 9, and I had to learn this one the hard way, but every single issue that you face in your trading is a result of fear and greed. Every single emotional impulse that you feel, every mistake that you make is because of fear and greed. And I'll list off a few examples: revenge trading, FOMO, over-risking, under-risking, over-trading, not knowing when to step off. This is all a result of fear and greed. And what is greed? Greed is your desire to make money. And it's counterintuitive, but the more you desire the money, the further it runs away from you. And you have to practice what's called the law of detachment. And I actually created a whole separate YouTube video where I go over this in depth. So make sure you watch it after this video. But you need to detach yourself from the outcome. The more you chase the money, the more it runs away. You need to focus on the process, on developing a profitable trading system. And the more you focus on that, the more the money chases you. Or similarly, your fear of giving back profits is what's stopping you from realizing any profits in the first place. Have you ever been in a winning trade and you get out way too early because you're fearful that you're going to give back what you made on that trade, and then you end up missing out on a far bigger move? That is because of fear. So you need to look deep within your trading. You need to reflect on your trading, figure out the mistakes that you're making and understand how they're all rooted in fear and greed. And then you need to figure out how to control those emotions. Number 10, mentorship can be incredibly powerful. The only reason I am a profitable trader today is because of my father. My dad mentored me on how to trade 5 years ago. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be. And the only reason I was able to become successful relatively quickly is because I learned correctly from the very beginning. I never had to experiment with strategies or do trial and error. That's how my dad learned. My father learned the hard way. It took him like 7 years to finally become a profitable trader because he had to do it all by himself. But then after he taught me, it only took me 3.5 months to start making money in my own trading career because I learned correctly from the very beginning. And mentorship is just invaluable. After that, I taught my 18-year-old cousin how to trade. This was 2 years ago. His name is Greg Trades. You could actually follow him on socials, on Instagram, Greg Trades. And he started making money after 4 months. And mentorship just expedites the entire process. It's just a shame that there are so many scammers in the trading industry. And there are a lot of traders that kind of have an ego and they just want to learn everything by themselves, right? If you really think about it, we have professors, teachers, coaches in all other aspects of our life. When you go to college, you learn from professors. In high school and middle school, you learn from teachers. When you're on a basketball team, you have a coach. When you're learning how to play guitar, you have a guitar instructor. Why would trading be any different? And if you are looking for mentorship and you are serious, I do personally help scale and coach traders from zero to making $5,000 to $50,000 per month, trading live with me every single day. So if you are serious about it, just throwing it out there, you could apply in the description of this video, but it doesn't have to be me. I really don't care who you find as a mentor. Just make sure they have verifiable results and make sure they're live trading every single day. Number 11, we sort of already talked about this, but the easiest way to make more money in your trading is to lose less. And this just goes back to risk management. And it's not about having less losing trades. Losing is inevitable in trading. I'm not telling you to not lose. I'm telling you to focus on losing less on those losing trades. And sometimes the best trade is not taking a trade at all. Sometimes the best thing that you could do in your trading is to sit on your hands or turn off your computer and go enjoy the day. Go spend time with your family. But put a conscious effort towards losing less on your losing trades. And as a result, you're going to make more money. You don't need to add new strategies or new management. Just lose less on your losing trades. That's the reason why I'm such a good trader today. I'm very good at limiting my losses, and that's what you need to be focusing on. Number 12, and this actually comes with a personal story. Never, ever, ever add to a losing position. And I remember just a few weeks into my trading career, I was sitting next to my dad, and there was a stock that was just dropping like a rock, just dropping like crazy. My dad was trying to catch a reversal, and he bought some shares, and then the stock continued lower. Then he bought some more shares, the stock continued lower. He bought some more shares, and I'm seeing his P&L go from negative 1,000, then to negative 3,000, then to negative 5,000. And at the peak, it was at negative $12,000. And the funny thing is, by the end of it, the stock ended up reversing, and he made money. But he told me after that trade, never, ever do what I just did. There's probably a reason that trade is a loser. So why would you add to a losing position, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but so many traders do this because they are like, oh, I'm going to average down on my trade. I'm going to add, it's going to average down the average cost. And then when it reverses, it's pretty likely I'm going to either break even or make money. Never do that, ever. Please just put it as a rule in your trading plan. Never add to a losing position ever. Respect your stop. If it hits your stop, move on. You could take that trade independently a different time, but never add to a losing trade. Number 13, don't take trading so personally. It's okay to make mistakes. Just because you didn't have a great trading day or you're not performing well that week, don't let it impact your self-worth. No one is perfect. Even the best traders in the world make mistakes. Even the best traders lose money. Even they succumb to their emotions. No one is perfect. So stop taking your trading so personally. Don't let your trading impact how you view yourself, because you're not going to be happy. You're going to be miserable trading if you allow your trading to actually impact your self-worth. So don't take it so personally, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. No one is perfect. Number 14, you have to think bigger. Don't you want to be a profitable trader over the next decade? And if that's the case, why are you getting caught up in the day-to-day or week-to-week price action? I would always do this. I would have one day ruin my entire week, not like profit-wise, just like emotionally. I would have one bad trading day, and then the rest of my week, I would be trading a little bit differently. Or I would have one bad week, and then the rest of the month, I have to kind of regain my confidence. Don't get caught up in the day-to-day price action, okay? You're going to make mistakes. You have to think bigger. Think in terms of months to years, because ultimately that's the goal, for you to be profitable over many, many years. So who cares what happens on one day or the next day, right? Think bigger, and it's also going to alleviate a lot of stress as well. Number 15, your P&L is a lagging indicator of your progress. The improvements that you make today are only going to show up in your profit or loss like 3 to 6 months from now. And this kind of goes into the next point as well. Your trading progress is not linear. This is the way my trading progress has always been, where I have a really nice move up in my trading where I'm performing a lot better, I'm making more money, and then I sort of kind of stagnate for a few months or for a while. And then all of a sudden, my results go parabolic. And then I stagnate for a while, right? Stagnate for a while. Then my results go parabolic. And what a lot of traders do is they give up right before they go parabolic in their results. Your progress is not going to be linear. Your progress isn't going to be like this. Your progress is going to be like this, like this, like this. And then all of a sudden, boom, your results go crazy. Okay, because it takes time for those improvements to actually show up in your trading in a tangible way. It takes time for those improvements to lead to profits. And this is the period of time where you're working, you're grinding, you're spending a lot of time and energy, and you're not seeing results. And that might discourage you. You can't allow that to happen. Just because you're not seeing results in your P&L doesn't mean you're not making progress. Do not give up, because you don't want to miss out on this parabolic move in your trading. And then, yeah, you might stagnate for a while. You make a bunch of improvements here, and then your results go parabolic again. Number 17, never trade off of news. In my 5 years of trading experience, I have never looked up the news on a stock and then purchased or shorted that stock because of the news. You should never allow the news to drive your decision making in trading, because all of that news, all of that new information is already priced into the stock. It's already priced into the market. We are retail. Okay, there are institutional investors that hear about that news literally the moment it drops, before anyone in the public knows about it. So by the time we hear about the news, it's already priced into the stock. Now, let's say you're in a trade and all of a sudden there's some random news that drops on the market and the market starts collapsing. Obviously, you can alter your management because the market is dropping, because some random news came out. But you should never allow the news to actually impact your decision making in trading. It's all about price action. That's the only thing we look at as traders. And number 18, trading is hard, but it is doable. Stop listening to people throwing statistics at you that 99% of day traders fail and that everyone loses money. And by the way, that brings up another point. This should be point number 19. Don't tell anyone that you trade before you become profitable, because it's not going to serve you any purpose. People are just going to doubt you. People aren't going to understand what you're pursuing. People are going to throw negative energy at you, and they're going to tell you that what you're doing is a waste of time, because you trading and making money and living a life of freedom is going to challenge their own reality and their own perspective of themselves. All of this information, day trading is impossible. It's all garbage. You can apply that to literally everything in life. Like 95% of businesses fail. Only the top 5% of employees or entrepreneurs or workers make the most amount of money in any industry out there. Okay, so be the exception. Okay, another statistic, 40% of day traders quit after like the first month, right? Like, how do you expect to succeed if 40% of them quit, right? So forget about statistics. Is trading doable? Yes. It's difficult, but it's doable. Be the exception. Believe in yourself. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you found tremendous value in these points. And this is all just the truth. And this is what I have learned throughout my experience. A lot of this is what my father taught me as well. So if you did find tremendous value, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment on your feedback. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for other videos. And if you need help getting started with your trading journey, I also have a free 10+ hour trading course that is genuinely better than most paid courses on the internet. It's 100% free. It'll build the foundation for your trading so you can combine the information for my free course with my YouTube videos, and it will help you as a trader. I've had a lot of people become profitable literally just for my free education. So make sure you watch it. It's in the description of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next video. And leave a comment for feedback. I actually read the comments. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next vid.